madness. Insanity, why are you my remedy? Bum bum ba dum wow ba dum bum ba dum wow ba dum wow down bow wow wow down bow wow ba dum. Sorting that out there, sorting that out here, on here, off there, turning that on there. Alright team, hold on for just 1 second. I'm going to grab myself a coffee. I thought I had this all done and dusted, but I wasn't quite ready. Let's get the coffee sorted. Like one of those cheap posts that says, but first, Kufe. I'll be right back guys. I'll throw around some paint, have some yarns, see where it takes us. It's going to be fun. We are back. I've got my coffee. I'm going to grab my little speaker here. And we're going to get started. Turn this around this way. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Switch that to the comments and we are good to go. Alright team. Just going to pick up some things off the floor. So this room's not inundated with junk. That sounds like it would be fantastic. There we go. Living the dream. Alrighty tighty. Mama Squishy. Great name. First time joining. What are you doing? I paint. That's what I do. That's everything I do. And I love it to bits. I wake up thinking about paint. Go to sleep dreaming about paint. All day, all night. And it's a bit more wild, it's less realism, more fun, more crazy, more primal, more expressive. This is Auckland. Auckland, Albany, Rosedale, whatever you like to call it. Bear with me for just a second. Bear with me. I'm almost ready to start painting canvas. I'm just checking this little AirPod here. Quite funny, actually. I have those countdown bags, the ones that are waterproof, and I had all my things in the bag, including my water bottle, which then leaked and filled the bag up with water. So now I think my little AirPod here is completely broken. And I can never quite pronounce that name, but I'm going to say Evan. Evangelista Diosia. Are you okay? I'm fantastic, Joy. But I think this AirPod is broken. So, note to self, when you have your water bottle, put it in the center console of your car, so that way it doesn't fall over in your bag and fill the thing up with water. Silly me. Silly me. But also this painting needs a little bit of a refresh, rebrand, touch up. Hello Marta, how we doing? And hey Joy. Looks like we got a fun crew here today. I'm not sure why this phone's playing up a little bit. It's strange. Very strange. Why is this not working for me? Alright. Ah! That's fun to know. It works. Damien, first time I've heard it, Bevan. But thanks for joining in. And Jacob, it has been a hot minute. Good to have you here. Jules, you're here right at the start, which is fantastic. Ooh. Someone trying to call. But we're in the middle of this. We've started now. We're committed. So, thanks, Jacob. Okay, paint on this. We're going to grab it out of this bag here. And, yep, perfect, perfect, perfect. Mama, yes, I do. I do sell these pieces. So, there's a couple that are available. There's not a whole lot, but there is a couple. There we go. A little bit of blue. That one. Let's get this one out of the way. The laptop. This is the kind of bag that I was talking about that caused all the trouble. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks, Mama Squishy. This one here is going to be going to a lovely man here in New Zealand, in Avondale, of all places. So that's fun. Jura. Hey, Jaden. Jaden, where's the turtle gone? There we go. Ooh, it's got one of those little labels on it. There we go. They can come off there. Put that down there. Grab a hold of this here. Brilliant magenta. Always adds that poppy colour into it. And then I want just a little bit more of, woohoo, if I stop dropping things, red violet. We always run this tube out. This is probably our highest moving colour. I'll show you when I add it on which colour it is. It's like a deep dark magenta because it's not black, but we use it to replace a lot of different colours. All right. We'll start with a bigger brush, I think, and then we'll cut down to a smaller one as we go. You're a legend, Jaden. That's what I was hoping for. Oh, cheers, Mama. Thanks for jumping on in briefly. And if you're around later, I will be. I think we'll be here for about, I've got 60 minutes on this live, guys. Sorry, it can't be longer. The reason it's 60 minutes is I'm meeting with that lovely lady, Hannah, who did the interview. The one where she came into the crate and I showed her some of the art and things. Yum, yum. So I'm meeting her. Today. E-meeting her at 11:30. So you've got me for an hour. An hour. So we're going to slap some colour on this wild picture. Here's my little container. Fun, fun. And let's get into it. White first. Juro. What's Juro? That sounds fun. Here we go. Pink. Pink off the bat. Wish politicians would look out for minors. Not just minors on an island somewhere. There we go. Powerful pink. David. Thanks, David. Appreciate you, mate. This one here is going to, if you've ordered an original, this one here is going to the guy who puts the originals into boxes. So he gets them everywhere around the country. The problem with this shirt, the sleeves are just too long. And it catches every time you try and reach out. So he wanted a piece for his son's 21st. And we're just trying to perfect it. Get the finishing touches on it. It's not quite there yet, but it'll get there. Here we go. Hello, Nick, and hello, AJ. We've got some fun people in here today. So pink's up first, guys. 3 different shades of magenta, which is going to be quite fun. And we'll just sort of see where that takes us. But the intentions are to sort of not reformat the painting, but give it just a little bit of a facelifty shake up. Hello, Steve. We're doing great. Pink. Oh, guys. This just became an old school session. We've got Pink in here. We've got Steve in here. Jacob's in here. I'm feeling like we're back on the days we were working on the 2 dog portraits. It's only a month or 2 ago, but pretty fun. You've missed one session on the pink, which was when we were doing the Statue of Liberty. I didn't see you then. And that was a really pink day, but I saw you in the comments section, which I guess that counts. Nick, today we're using on this canvas a little bit, not the regular egg, even though I have it all right here. This is 100% pure egg yolks. Voila. I have it here, but we're using acrylics on this one. So this is an acrylic piece. It's outside the realms of what we normally do. Normally we're doing the egg tempera, but this one here, it's a little bit different. It's different in the sense that it's the same as a few of the original pieces we used to work on. And the reason that's happening to this one is because Michael has been shipping the old work, so I wanted to do something for him that he can connect with the work he's been shipping so far. Ooh, I have not been. But I did get approached by some outfit today asking about the possibility of sponsoring some clothes to the stream, which is risky business because I ruin so many clothes. But if that goes ahead, that could be pretty funny. But I do need to take you guys on an op shop tour with me to see what we can pick up. If only to make sure I keep being creative with my get up, because when I don't go to op shops, I tend to fall into, I don't want to say a rut, but the same. My clothes choices of what I wear become more bland. You can see here, this is my op shop creations, but the ones I keep. I'm wearing grey pants, grey shirt, brown shoes. So as time ticks on, and I don't go to an op shop frequently enough, my choices do get more and more static, stagnated, boring. I don't know how you want to phrase it. You know what I mean. It's a grey kind of day. Well, actually outside it's as sunny as can be. So I apologise for bringing the grey mood to the environment. Here we go. There we go. A little bit through there. Here's our doggo. Up we come. Like the shades, yeah. I'm with you, Pink. An adventurer. I'm Dora the Explorer. I'm adventuring through layers of colour. I like that. Let's run with that. Thoughts on Renaissance art? Renaissance art's pretty cool. And the reason it's pretty cool is it was the art that, now I say this, but remember that things happen for different reasons, but Renaissance art came to pass almost the same time as oil art, oil painting, was rising in popularity. And the reason it was rising in popularity is because oil paintings was replacing egg tempera at the time. Replacing it, giving us a medium which could effectively stay open for longer, allowing you to do way more detail. And the reason why that was so important is they wanted to do perfect paintings at that point in time. And so the oil made that possible. And so the Renaissance is a period where everyone got obsessed with intense perfection and intense detail. Now, you may not like Renaissance paintings, but that was the one point in time where that went to an absolute extreme. And it hasn't gone back to that extreme even today. Yeah, it's a fun little doggo's face. There we go. Here we are. There we are. Thanks, Iden. Appreciate you, mate. When you think about what people did back in the day compared to now, I think we go through different movements. I think we deal with the situations that are in front of us right now, and we react to them as best we can. So when you look at that period of time, they didn't have photos, and so they valued the ability for art to capture reality, and they valued capturing religion through that, and all these different little aspects. But if you look at something, out of my ear, if you look at something like the likes of today, we've got our own challenges that we're looking at. They'll look back on today, or if they looked forward on today, if that was even possible, at the rise of things like AI, and wonder how we even grappled with it, or what we were thinking at the idea that humans were no longer even necessary to make art. There we go. There we are. Jay Smith, good to have you on board, you absolute legend. And I didn't see you say hi, but good to have you here. I was saying to everyone else at the start, if you were here for it, we're doing 60 minutes because I've got to jump into a online meeting with a lovely lady named Hannah. And then after that, hopefully, we can come back in here and attack some more layers, because I already have the egg tempera all made up, and this won't survive for more than, I haven't put vinegar in it, so we've got 12 hours on this. So we have to use 300 grams of egg tempera in the next 12 hours, 11 hours now. 100%. We don't get a choice. Otherwise, we throw away like 12 eggs. And this is New Zealand. We can't afford that right now. I can't read the name there, but I guarantee that's not the case. I'm a taken man, and I value connection and love above all other things. So, and you know what? When you start doing the same, it feels pretty good. Far better than any possible alternative. All right, let's get this around this eye here a little bit. Pink's on board. Pink's on board. That's good. But I understand that both sides typically get this massive feeling of grass is greener. And one thing that we forgot how to do, or were never taught how to do, was how to evaluate our situation by how much happiness it just brings us. Whether you're a selfish or a selfless person, evaluate your own circumstance on how happy you can be. Be a little bit inward looking for that one little case. And if the answer is, you know what, there is actually nothing else that could make me, the me that I am, more happy, perfect. You have everything you need. And Iden, you get some sleep. You absolute champion. Thanks for joining in. And if there are things that you think would make you happier, this is important. Because you'd say, yeah, well, I have done that, and I know things that would make me way, way happier. So what do I do now, Seb? Evaluate why you feel that way about those things. Why do you think those things are going to make you happier? And sometimes, for some of those things, you come back to the reason, Jules, you're out of here, or you're saying goodnight to someone else. Sometimes, when you evaluate like that, you realize that actually, a lot of the things you thought would make you happier were things you've been taught by other people because it had made them happy. But that wasn't the recipe that you wanted. That wasn't the way to achieve your goals. And once you realize you're an individual with different goals and you don't need to copy everyone else, you can be who you are, that's when the doors start to open for you. And you, not doors of someone else giving you something, but you start to truly look out for yourself. That's the beauty. Imagine being in a situation where you let your own dreams slip because you're so tied up watching and fulfilling not the dreams of others, but the dreams that others told you you should have. So you're achieving your dreams, you just followed someone else's instructions on what they were. That's a scary situation. That's what wants to be avoided. Ah, good, Jules. I like having you around. Yes. And not just asking that question once, but continually asking that question. That's what's important. If you continually ask the question, you'll continually reevaluate it and accept the fact that actually you do go through change. You're an individual. You develop, you change, you're allowed to alter your opinion. This is healthy. Allow yourself to think in different ways and do different things. A lot of the time we get stuck in dogmas where we think, I'm painting a dog right now, I'm using the word dogma, but we think, oh, I said that or thought that, I'll permanently stick with that opinion. The ability to say that you were wrong, even to yourself, and reevaluate is one of the most potent abilities you can have. We definitely know how to tell other people they're wrong, or how to disagree in our own minds with what people were saying. But we have a very, very hard time actually telling ourselves, hey, I was wrong in that instance. I've changed my mind now. This is the direction that I want to go in. And that's potent. Once you can do that, admit to yourself that you're wrong, and not beat yourself up about it and resent yourself. That's the next thing that happens. But actually forgive yourself and move forward constructively. Now, so the cheesy books would say, the universe is at your feet. Great face. Evan's like, you're off on a massive yarn. This is my face right now. I can sympathize, Evan. All right. Let's grab, this is the deep violet that I was talking about. The one we use up more tubes of than almost anything else. So you'll see it going on here. It's like a It's like the tone of red, but the hue of pink. That's the best way to describe it. Tone of red, but the hue of pink. So it's a little bit deeper and a little bit darker, but it still has that beautiful magenta tone through it. And we can just play with it over the surface of this canvas. See where it lands? I'm just building up some chunks around here. This one here is a picture, glad you asked, is very, very similar to a work that we did that went to Australia a while ago, back when I was living in a different place and we were with different people having a different conversation. It was the work of, bada bing bang boom, Robert the Runner. Do you remember that piece? Robert the Runner. So the painting style we did for Robert the Runner is very, very similar to the painting style that we're employing to make this picture possible, which is really cool. I like to see those same. It's not like we're completely changing the way I paint, but the way we get the paint, the color palette we use, and the way we starkly add these brush strokes, they're much more dottery, splattery. Normally comes from a combination of the colors we use in the picture we've got. But in this case here, it is very, very reminiscent of Robert the Runner in really good ways, because I loved that picture. I loved it when a fan actually went into that clinic. It's up on the wall of a foot clinic, saw it, and was like, hey, I saw some of your work. The doggy is your favourite part. Yeah, I got to agree with that. That's pretty fun. But yes, the amount of pink in the work. Actually, when it comes to pink, there's some amazing tones in magenta and light pastel pinks and deep dark reds and violets. They sometimes get underutilized, and I think people are scared away from the reds and pinks a little bit in a lot of artwork. Blue has this allure where you can get more shades in it, and yellow seems more innocent. And sometimes green and blues and yellows are what we run into as fundamental pieces to make up a work. We don't think we have the... I think we're just afraid of ending up in a fully pink zone. I love it. I think pink jumps off the canvas. I think it's friendly, fun, and warm. I mean, there's very, very few colours which embody friendly, fun, and warm all at the same time. That's territory of pink and pink alone. I think blue does depth, brooding, and trust and things like this, but it doesn't have that spark of fun in it a lot of the time. It always has that, not like pink does, not like pink and orange would. But then pink also has that very, very approachable nature, which is beautiful about it as well. Now, I know you're biased, Pink, but you're also biased for a reason. It's a great colour. Is that true? Magenta makes you happy? Like, scientifically, is that actually the case, that magenta makes you happy? Because if that is the case, that's actually phenomenal. We need to lift this up a little bit, because I'm craning down every time, and I need to get it up higher. Your love keeps taking me higher, so high. We're going to go up. Blue makes me happy? Perfect, perfect. And again, aside from all the colour theory, there is, at a base level, your own psychology and emotions, which definitely play a role in how you perceive the world. And colours aren't really a one-size-fits-all. I'd refer to colours more as a one-size-hints-all. So you get a hint when they talk about, like, red makes you hungry, blue's trustworthy, that's why food companies are all red and insurance companies are all blue. Well, there's also a part of that which isn't just because of that. If you think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you started making all insurance companies blue, we would start connecting that blue with insurance companies or good insurance companies and start actually inferring more trust, say, or distrust. And same thing goes with red. Red makes you hungry. All fast food chains start using red. Now we establish red with fast food chains. Now, fast food chains make us hungry and we think about red at the same time. It proliferates and encourages that. And so it's quite hard to actually say that we actually, as monkeys. But I think, as a nutshell, you are your own person. And for example, my mother, yellow makes her happy. She loves yellow. Now, yellow is psychologically said to do that, but for me, I feel happiest with oranges and pinks as my two favourites to elevate happiness. I find yellow too soft. I need some vigour in my happiness. Which, my favourite colour, fresh off the ranks. What colour would be my absolute favourite? Favourite artist or band. I like Kip Moore as an artist. He's a country singer. If you don't like country music, I'm so sorry. It's just my style. It's okay to have your own style. It's okay to like what you like. I like country music. And if it's not going to be Kip Moore, the country singer, I like old school. Take me back. I'm talking like 80s pop. The reason I like that sort of stuff is I typically find the beats of the new music, all the stuff that they make, it tries to be less inclusive and more confusing with the beats sometimes, I find. And so it tries to catch you off guard. But with 80s pop, when the song starts, you know where it's going the whole way through. It's not trying to say, hey, we're going to throw wild cards at you, change the beat, change the rhythm, change everything. It's like, once you've heard 4 bars of the song, feel confident to come to the dance floor and join us to dance, even if you don't know the lyrics. Feel comfortable. And I feel like that's what 80s and 90s pop sort of did. And so we get into this idea of what's your favourite song, what's your favourite band some of the time, and we all form our individual opinions on that, but also remember the effect music can have on a room. And in the 80s and 90s, although the music was still important, in some instances it was less about the music and more about the way you could make a room feel. And we didn't lose that, but I think we moved away from that a little bit. I see things that are really, really fun like silent discos and stuff, but do you ever feel the confidence now if you went out to a bar or a dance place or a song came on that you didn't know, would you feel confident enough to actually go and dance to it? Or while you're dancing, does it change over and over and it makes you feel a little bit more self-conscious and insecure during that process? But when you hear something like, what's that group, Dr. Hook, or the bands of old, when they play a song, as soon as you've heard the first line of the song, you're good to go. So it's this isn't some giant revelation, guys, but it is something that's important. Think about the room of the people that are around you and how it affects them. We get so caught up in our own little world of what we think. But when I am in my own little world, which does happen, I love myself some country music. Travolta fever. So, Travolta, yeah, fair enough. And that's something that Freddie Mercury actually pointed out, guys. Freddie Mercury talked about it. He said that right now is the golden age of music. Not now, but when he was making music, he said it's the golden age because there's more technology coming in. He could already see it. And he's like, we'll rely on technology to make the music and we'll put less effort into genuine creativity. Now that may or may not be the case. You'd have to ask an actual musician what their thoughts were. But in this case here, I think we can genuinely say that in Freddie Mercury's day, he was making pieces that are masterpieces to this day. Like every song is a work of art in its own unique way. And that's irrefutable. And he says the most funny thing, like, think about I Want to Ride My Bicycle when he's singing that song. How outrageous is that song? To be blasting out in front of tens of thousands of people. Art. Yeah, this lift was good, guys. Even the ambience has the effect on our moods. It does. This is true. This is what I was talking about in the most recent reel. Not just ambience, but actually what's in the environment around you. What do you surround yourself with? And it's always disguised, that sort of stuff. Because we say, what do you surround yourself with to ensure your success or something like that? Think of more like, what do you surround yourself with to ensure your happiness? That's a better way of putting it. People, a little bit of music, beautiful scenery, nature. Imagine in somewhere like Auckland, where I'm painting right now, so we put the added challenge on ourselves because we actually are in a giant city and we're away from nature. We have to go to nature to feel more connected with it. That's a fact. Go to the beach, go to the woods, go to the park. Get out there. Don't let the big city swallow you up, swallow you whole. Keep that individuality in your body. Hello, Mimi, how you doing? And nature is beautiful. You're a part of it. We're so quick to actually think we're not a part of nature. You know, especially if you... It's something about being in a concrete jungle that makes you feel like that actually you don't need trees and bushes and lakes and mountains, but actually there's a primal side of you that's inescapable, that exists inside you, that does need it, that wants you to cater for it, if you can. I'm not saying you need to go off on hikes. If you don't like hikes, yes, I get it. Some people get chafing. Some people hate the sun, blasting down on them. They need tons of sunscreen. They get sunburned easily. They battle with this, battle with that. I get it. I totally get it. Find your own way of connecting with nature, though. I shouldn't say connecting. I should say reconnecting. I should say reconnecting because you didn't ever not have a connection to it. You came from it. But it's important as a monkey to remind yourself of that. And maybe, so a good reel on this, we should starting every business meeting with, all right, just want to start this meeting by saying that everyone is going to die one day. We only have one life. And the best thing we can do with that life is make other people happy. Now, on that note, let's begin. Let's not take this meeting too seriously. That might loosen up a few boardrooms. Might get a few results, like you may find people start valuing things like thinking, you know what, we had a good quarter. Let's spend some profits on actually sorting out child poverty in our local towns. Let's spend some profit on dealing with mental health here locally in our country. Let's get some food out, some food banks. Let's do, X, Y, and Z. That'd be pretty cool. Now, I know a lot of people with vast amounts of cash do a lot to help. And that's phenomenal. I appreciate that so, so much. People with the ability to help in massive ways who do help in massive ways. They're absolute legends. Breath of fresh air. You know what? That is something that a lot of us undervalue. Sometimes movies play it up a little bit, like show you a moment where a character does take a beautiful big gulp of fresh air in a sci-fi movie. But if all air was poison, think about some places overseas. I think Hong Kong, or places where the air isn't all that fresh. And how much would you pay? Would you start paying for bottled air? I would. Just like sometimes in New Zealand here, the water gets really, really tastes a lot like chlorine, like chloride or whatever it's called, and it just doesn't taste all that great. And what we do is we immediately start getting excited about buying bottled water. Well, see, this is the same. I can see myself pulling out to a gas station and buying some bottled air. Absolutely. But Guys, let's not get to that stage. Let's let everyone forever undervalue the privilege of the air we get to breathe. And let's actually focus on making sure that air always stays breathable. And that's not saying that let's all stop big corporations and let's all do this and do that. Nah, it's not the giant big moves. The protests, they help. Yeah, the politicians who move this stuff, the companies that do the moves that help and things, yes, this does make a difference. But it's more your intentions and the small moves you make on every day. And the things that you decide to back, both consciously and subconsciously. What I'm saying here is it's actually not about the action at all. Just start to care. And once you start to care about generations that don't exist yet, that's when you learn what life's all about, in my opinion. I think there's a saying about men and trees and the shade they sit under, that something like great societies are built. Great societies are built when men plant trees whose shade they'll never sit under. Now, please expand that now. The quote says men, but let's say people. Society becomes great when people plant trees whose shade they never planned to sit under. And that's the beauty of it. But when you start thinking in that way, you'll make small decisions every day that'll make everything we do a better place. So, this isn't a giant call to action. Don't grab your whole paycheck and throw it at making sure they plant a whole bunch of trees or that recycling definitely happens, blah, 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 blah. Start to think about it, start to care about it. And then the little actions will just start to fall into place. If you genuinely care, your subconscious gets on board, you know what's going to happen? Next time you go to the supermarket, I reckon you'll remember a bag. Or do your best to. Instead of forgetting it and buying a new one each time. I struggle with that. My memory's not good on a good day. But when I do bring it with me, I give myself a little mental high five. Here we go. And if I follow my pride, an unselfish way to give back. I think a lot of the time too, guys, we think, I'm too busy caught up in my own world right now or trying to do this and do that. I don't have time to give back. I need to do this first. I need money for this. I need to sort this out and things. If you can't find it a cent to give now, if you can't find 1 cent to give now, when you're 100 times richer than you are right now, 100 times richer, how are you going to find $1? And so you say, I'll give $1 or I'll help child poverty in wherever in the world, or I'll support people trying to clean up our oceans or save fish and things when I'm rich, if I become rich. You think, all right, so you'll be 1,000 times richer. 1,000 times richer than you are right now. So if you make minimum wage in New Zealand, which is about 50 or 60k, let's say it's 50, it's a nice number, and we say you can't find a cent right now, when you're 1,000 times richer than that, you'd be like, yeah, if I was 1,000 times richer, if I was one of the wealthy people in my country, I'd definitely donate to charity. Okay, if you're 1,000 times richer and you extrapolate the same mind frame, you're saying that you won't be able to find, what is that? Is that 5,000 or is that $500? Someone do the math for me, but every little bit. Every little bit. Yeah, I love that. Hey Jackson, how we doing? And that was one thing that I was looking at doing, and it's hypocritical that I say I was looking at doing it, but this is his intentions here, and we're building these intentions out slowly. I was looking at actually every original that gets sold. See, I was looking at offsetting the carbon. And I thought, that's throwing matting it, that's one solution. But actually I thought, what if every time an original sold, I go plant a native tree on my home farm? And so you just know that the work that you've got is, it is what it is, it's beautiful, blah, blah, all this sort of stuff. But that a tree exists that wouldn't have otherwise existed, that exists because of that work. I think that could be quite cool. It's not going to change the world, but it starts the conversation. And that's the key. I think a tree, like you say, sky, is an absolutely beautiful way of remembering a loved one. Absolutely phenomenal. What time is it? 11:09. Guys, I've got another 11:09, 20 minutes. And then I need to set up my laptop and do a meeting with the lovely Hannah from Canada. Canada Hannah. She's a lovely, lovely person. Bright personality. Incredible person. And she wants to talk some more about something that she's got going on. I haven't been given many details, but she wants my opinion on it. So I'm looking forward to sharing that. Ooh. And then I need to buy some. I was using the heavy texture semi-gloss gel in with the egg tempera yesterday, and it was a little bit thick. You notice I had to shake the egg up good and proper before it would run. So I'm going to try it with the softer gel, but I need to buy a new punnet. And then we'll come back in here, and I'll show you the picture actually, guys. I'll show you the picture that I want to work on. I've got a dance picture to do tomorrow. That's going to be fun. I've been holding off because I need Shelby to do the filming. She signed up for this, guys. She dated me. She has to get dragged out to the beach and help me film. So it's a collaboration. I gift $1 at the online checkout, then send multiple letters for more. Absolutely, Jade. That's phenomenal. I love that. I love that. You saw me yesterday. Boom. This is an inclusive space. I'm glad you plucked up the courage to say hi, but you are always welcome here. And it's cute that you felt nervous, but you don't need to. You're always welcome. So two things. I'm going to show you both pictures. And we're going to talk about them a little bit with the 20 minutes we do have. So there's two pictures. I've got them behind me here. I'm going to grab one of each. I've got a brand new canvas the same size as our surf picture. And here's what we're going to paint on it. I hope you like this. This is an original piece. This has no one about to buy it. It's just I couldn't decide between a surf picture, a beach picture, a water picture, a landscape picture, or something a little more abstract. And so I combined all of those ideas into one. So I've got this picture. Prepare yourselves. Surf, landscape, abstract, beach, water, reflections. Here we are. Maybe that's the name of it. This is it. So we have these lovely surfers with their reflections cast across the sandy beach, not actually in the sea, rolls of waves behind them, and then a massive landscape fogging off into the giant brooding but also innocent sky. It looks safe, but it has this amazing depth to it. I love this picture. Anyway, this picture here, I've selected it out for myself and thought, I want to paint that. So we don't often do this. We typically are doing commission-based stuff, working on different projects. This one here is one that I want to make for me. It's got intense contrast in it, so the characters will pop out. There'll be a little bit of realism from a distance, but what we will be doing with it is see all those blues that cascade everywhere and those more pastel tones in it. Magenta and pink are going to make a huge appearance in this because I want this to feel not like it's a cold picture. Because when you look at this picture here, you're like, ooh, that's not the beach to run down in Speedos. But I want this picture to seem welcoming, warm, and full of companionship and vitality. So, although we don't have the movement in it, it hasn't got the movement of, you know, a giant churning wave of a man running or dancing and things. It does have that wonderful feeling of companionship, of living life. They're out there in the environment and it's peaceful. So that's what we're going to capture. You see, Steve's a surfer. So, see, this is the important thing. Steve's saying he's walked that walk 1,000 times. Something like that is what we're trying to capture. Because if you have been out for a morning swim or a surf at this type of hour, you see here this with the reflections and things like that, with the way I think it looks like they're out here in the morning because the sun's coming up here and you can see its original first part of the glow coming out. If you've been there and done that, it wants to feel like that moment. You know, you're wearing your wetsuit, you haven't been in the water yet, you can feel the cold on your face. So it wants to acknowledge that, but it wants to feel this warm anticipation of you going out to do something meaningful and something for you. So anyway, add your pizzazz to it. That's the plan, Sky. That is the plan. Anyway, we got one other picture, and this is the one we're working on tomorrow. I wanted Shelby to help film it because we want to do some like panning camera angles and things like that as we're slapping around some paint. We're going to be doing this one at the beach. And I've talked to a lot of dancers, and we've landed on one picture. So this one here, and it's actually going to be a collaboration, which is going to be really fun. Okay, this is a collaboration, and here we go. And I'll say this, it's a dancer. It's a collaboration with JBL. So JBL makes speakers, okay? So basically, they've sent me a speaker, and it's going to have a lot more dance in it. We're painting a dancer, and we're going to have music going the whole time. So it's going to be a fair bit different from, not different, but a lot of movement, a lot of energy to try and transpose it onto the surface. So here we go. This is our dancer. Now, it's a unique picture for a dancer, and the reason it's unique is I've chosen this one because I've put the post out to everyone in the art of painting. I wanted a modern, solo, masculine dancer. And so you can see here in his form, he's got amazing movement through his body. But inside of that, he's definitely masculine. There's this cut tone, and even though he's not bulky and huge like sometimes we see in the Mr. Olympia and things, what he does have is this amazing sense of purpose, direction, and power in his pose. But the pose in itself isn't like a big hulking pose. It has this amazing masculinity to it, but this delicacy, this softer touch, as in he not only is masculine, but he's able to express himself and actually expose himself. I think that's beautiful. And then the other thing I like a lot about it is I love how he's standing on one foot. And because typically we talk about men 2 feet, grounded, ready for action. This one has this amazing, almost crane stance to it. And it adds this slight delicacy element to it. And just like if you've been knocked off balance and you're falling back on one foot, even though he's perfectly in balance, it has this element of vulnerability to it. And so that's when we talk about the modern man, because that's the focus of this image, the modern masculine solo dancer. That purposeful vulnerability that he's caused there, that's evident in his stance. Beautiful. Exactly what we're after. We're going to zoom in a bit more. It won't be done from this far away, so we're going to cut some of the background out and really have it closer to him. Not too close that it feels like he's pushing the box away, but close enough that you can actually really make out his form. One of the parts we're really going to have fun with is the change in colour. If you look at his torso, see how there's a very, very stark difference in the colours he's got? Over here, it's pure white against this white background. It almost makes the background look grey. And then over here, we've got this lovely tan colour swapping to these tans as it turns to complete black. And so there's this amazing line that starts up here in his wrist black fires the whole way down to here. And so there's actually almost this B shape in the black. And I'm going to really enjoy playing with that with deep magentas and blues. Anyway, that's our picture for tomorrow. Shelby's going to be the camera lady. Lucky her. And we're going to make this picture hopefully come to life. I'm pretty excited. It's a fun picture. So, anyway, this one here, and like I say, lots of dancing. So, painting a dancer, painting strength and movement. How are we going to do that? We're going to transpose all the movement we possibly can. We're going to need to be, as a dancer, we're going to need to be dancing. We're going to need to have big, bold movements. Not just blobby movements, but actually giant, powerful movements to transpose the same power that he's got in his position. So that's the plan. That's the plan. Right, a little bit more paint. We're going to add that last little bit of green on here. And then I've got to disappear in like 7 minutes. But we can always come back, guys. Don't worry about that. Here we go. And we're going to start that surf picture with a bit of luck. Or we'll slap another coat on this. The world's our oyster, team. The world's our oyster. And we love seafood. Here we are. Let's show some of that around there. The world's our oyster. We love seafood. Was that painting yesterday Lard Hamilton? It wasn't Lard Hamilton, it was Drew Brophy. So Drew Brophy is a surfer, an absolute legend, great individual. He's actually currently hosting an art retreat. I didn't know. I probably would have, it's in Indonesia, I probably would have left on a plane to go see him. He's a fantastic individual. He's an expert at paint, in his craft. He doesn't paint, he uses these pen, chalky, vividy things. And he has a spiritual aspect to all his paintings. He was talking about it in one of his recent posts. Because he did have a very, very scary experience where his life and existence on this planet was put at risk via some health condition. Anyway, that now permeates, expectingly so, into his artwork. And you can see how having a brush with your own existence being taken away from you can impact the way you not only see the world, but you create your art. For someone like him who's got a practice so established, it's really interesting. Like for me, after say I do another 20 years of making art, imagine I have an experience which deeply changes me. And then you'd have pre-experience Seb and post-experience Seb, which in one way would be cool. It could look somewhat tragic, or it could be absolutely beautiful. It's hard to know. It's really hard to know. Might happen. Who knows? So, cool paint holder thing. Thank you. Appreciate it. Here's my colours. I like this one. It keeps them separate, but it's got just enough of a lip that you can move between them. And then when you're finished, the paintbrush can lay in those gaps. Honestly, one more bubble at the end, so I had 4 colours, would be perfect. Because then I could have the 3 primaries and 1 dark colour that just keeps swapping. But anyway, it's really by the by. I love it the way it is. Probably would get too heavy if I had another one on it, maybe. But don't listen to me. I'm just a complainer, guys. It's perfect. It's perfect the way it is. Forget I said anything. Don't let those sort of thoughts creep into my mind. I love it the way it is. How dare I say that? All right. That was the first to surf the 100. Oh, yes. Yes. I gotcha. Oh, 10K. Thanks, guys, you pack of legends. I'm going to get set up for that meeting now, but I will come back. And it's really fun that with this quick little live we've done as we finish off, we made it to 10K. You're all phenomenal people. It's always amazing. You guys know this, to actually come in here and spend some time with you. I talk about loneliness and actually isolation, and when you are working from home or when you're working alone with no camera set up, with no one else there, you're in your own private space, sometimes it can be very healing for a person to be in that space, and I encourage it. if it's healing, but sometimes continually doing that can actually bring isolation, resentment, and pain into your work. You want to resist that. You want to have work that stimulates growth and vitality and happiness. And the way to do that is surround yourself with people, because you're a monkey. It's healthy. Thanks, Sky. I'll see you later. And Pink, always a pleasure to have you in here. Jules, you too. And Steve, Jay Smith, you're all a pack of legends. I will be back though, probably this Arvo. We'll see how we go. See how long this meeting goes for. I really don't know what I'm in for, so we'll find out. All right, guys, sending love from the New Zealand studio. Look after yourselves, and we'll be in touch soon. Bye.